Like other countries around the world, Algeria and its people celebrated the International Day of Persons with Disabilities on December 3rd of each year. This day was designated by the United Nations in 1992 to support people with disabilities, with the aim of increasing understanding of disability issues and supporting inclusive designs to ensure the rights of persons with disabilities. This day also calls for increased awareness of the inclusion of people with disability in the political, economic and cultural life of different peoples and nations.
Now, Sustainable Development Goals, after a long efforts, we have successfully managed to reference 11 references on disability. So it means it has something to work on the rights of persons with disability. Now, disability is no more only the agenda of to discuss in the health or the hospitals. It's a concern for everyone.
Promoting leadership by people with disabilities for an inclusive and sustainable future. This is the slogan for the International Day of Persons with Disabilities 2025, and it aims to emphasize the need to empower persons with disabilities to be an integral part of leading change towards an inclusive and sustainable society. In analyzing this logo, we understand and realize the following. It focuses on the important role of people with disabilities in shaping their own future and of their communities. Here, the slogan seeks to build a world that embraces everyone without exception, in line with the Sustainable Development objectives. And we see one voice calling out loudly, "Nothing about us without us." This slogan embodies the founding principle of the disability rights movement, emphasizing the need to involve people with disabilities in all decisions that affect them.
Our association has a large number of members with special needs who hold university degrees in various fields, such as medicine, engineering, and administration. Some are also business people, and they support us with their donations just as they support able-bodied individuals. Therefore, I say to you, give us the opportunity to manage our own affairs, and you will see the remarkable results we will achieve. Statistics and studies have proven that the productivity of a person with a disability is more positive than that of an average person. And there are institutions that compete to employ people with disabilities simply because they are characterized by great diligence and discipline at work.
Circumstances led me to head institutions that were completely bankrupt and on the verge of collapse, closing their doors to workers. There were many of them, but thanks to God, I was able to get them out of the problems they were struggling with and restore them to their normal state as independent institutions. When I left it in a comfortable financial position and in better circumstances than before, to the point that one of my close friends asked me if my fat was connected to institutions in a difficult situation to save them. I told him, thank God, perhaps we are a good omen for that institution.
بالك ربي سبحانه سخرنا باش حنا نكونوا مفتاح خير على هذيك المؤسسة.
The slogan for this year's International Day of Persons with Disabilities was highlighted by Hope and Work Association many years ago, and they continue to strive to achieve it. It also works to achieve other objectives aimed at enhancing the status of the disabled within society, so we find it asserting its presence not only in the capital, but even in marginalized areas in the north as well as in the south, and in the east as well as in the west. It is worth noting that this association, which operates under the leadership of Mrs. Hizia Razig, was born out of a purely sports association for elite athletes with special needs, so that the scope of its activities would expand to include volunteer work, social solidarity, and extending a helping hand to the disabled wherever they are, according to the available resources provided to them by benefactors in the form of gifts and donations. The joining of the Hope and Work Association for People with Disabilities to the National Observatory for Civil Society at the request of the highest authorities in the country confirms the success of its humanitarian initiative in the first place, as well as confirming that the message of the disabled has reached the farthest limits in a way that highlights the role of the contribution of this segment of society in building a homeland that successive generation will be proud of. This is how the so-called disabled person thinks, just to feel that he has a role and a place in his society, and to wipe away the sadness imposed on his face. Give the disabled person a chance to smile. Khalil bin Azout for Hope and Work Association, Algeria.